Alright, what is up, guys? Brian here, and this is my Impact Wrestling recap and review for last night's episode of Impact. Before I begin, two news stories coming out of today because I'm doing this video on Friday, the day after Impact. However, two huge stories. One concerns a former world champion in Impact Wrestling, GFW Impact Wrestling. Austin Aries has been released from WWE, which is a huge shocker. So that is a bit of breaking news coming out of today, as well as Dixie Carter is supposedly going to be on a WWE Network special about Kurt Angle. I think it's one of them WWE 24 features that they do on the network. So that is a news story coming out of today as well. Austin Aries has been released by WWE, as well as Dixie Carter going to be appearing on the WWE Network. But I know that's not has nothing to do with GFW Impact Wrestling. So let's get right into the review. Last night's episode I thought was somewhat of a good show. It was a solid show, coming off the heels of Slammiversary this past Sunday. We started off with the Alberto El Patron celebration for him winning the unified GFW and Impact World Championship on Sunday, defeating Lashley. He came out, cut a promo talking about the match on Sunday. Then Lashley would come out. Basically, this would lead to Lashley and asking for his rematch for later on in the night. And Alberto accepting. So that was our main event for last night's Impact. The opening match was Sanjay Dutt, the X Division champion, taking on Caleb Conley. This was actually a pretty good match. Good showing by Conley. But once again, Sanjay Dutt persevering and winning this match last night. Afterwards, he was attacked by Trevor Lee, who basically declared himself the new X Division champion. However, he is not. He did take the title, so it looks like that's going to be a new feud for Sanjay Dutt. We had a 8-man tag. It was Eli Drake, Chris Adonis, Falaba, and Mario Baccara taking on Veterans of War, Grado, and Eddie Edwards. This was a solid 8-man tag match, in my opinion. The Veterans of War, Grado, and Eddie Edwards picked up the win. Afterwards, Joseph Park would come out and basically just show some paperwork to Grado. Obviously it has something to, what those papers are. I mean, they kind of mentioned about Grado coming back. That he was back in the USA and stuff like that. So maybe it was like some visa issues or something like that. Who knows? But we'll have to wait and see next week. There were a couple of segments setting up maybe future matches, as well as a Gail Kim said that she has a major announcement to make next week. What is that? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Moose, the Impact Grand Champion, he was basically talking about defending his title next week. EC3 would interrupt and say he wants a shot. So, who knows what that's obviously setting up something. We had Matt Sydal taking on Braxton Sutter. That was the third match of the night. This was actually pretty good as well. Matt Sydal scored the win over Braxton Sutter with that shooting star press that he does. A big victory for Matt Sydal, continuing that momentum of back-to-back wins. They then afterwards, Allie would check on Braxton Sutter. He would pull away from her, and then basically it was like, you just told her that come on, let's go. We heard the introduction or the return of the Super X Cup tournament. One of the matches that took place that was a tournament match. It was Idris Abraham taking on Desmond Xavier. This was actually a very good matchup, in my opinion. Desmond Xavier won with the Spiral Tap, so advancing in the tournament. There are a couple of other names in this tournament. Davey Richards, former Ring of Honor superstar ACH. There were some other ones. Drago's in this tournament. So just to name a few that are in this tournament, the Super X Cup tournament. We had the returning Rebel. She took on the new unified GFW Knockouts champion, Sienna. Pretty much, this was not a bad match. Rebel did get some good, did get some offense in, but Sienna, with that MMA background, different variations she could beat you. Rebel lost to Sienna when Sienna locked in the guillotine that she used to win the championship from Rosemary on Sunday, and she once again used it again on Rebel, so to pick up the win. And then in the main event, it was Lashley challenging Alberto El Patron for the Unified World Championship. I think this match was better than their match at Slammiversary. However, the ending was a bit of a letdown, but the ending, however, does raise questions going into next week. LAX would come out. They would get involved. They would attack Lashley. So Lashley won the match by disqualification. However, Conan got on the mic while the other members of LAX were beating down Lashley and announced that Alberto El Patron was the newest member of LAX. He had been talking about a new member at Slammiversary and then throughout the night on Impact last night. And Alberto was not able to make a pronouncement as far as if he was the newest member or not, because he was still out cold, still knocked out and stuff. They were picking him up, and basically ending Impact was them, LAX, walking Alberto out of the through the crowd. So what does that mean for next week? Is Alberto El Patron the newest member of LAX? We have to wait and see next week. But like I said, my overall thoughts on Impact last night, I thought it was actually a pretty solid show. But there was really nothing, it was a solid show, but nothing really that made it, as a must-see show. But it was a solid effort. Some of the questions going into next week: is Alberto El Patron a part of LAX? What is Gail Kim's announcement? As well as Moose defending his Impact Grand Championship. So that's all going to happen next week. So if you guys watched Impact last night, let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments below. This is my recap. This has been my recap of what took place on last night's Impact Wrestling on Pop TV. As always, I am Brian, and thank you for watching.